Come on in. Somebody met him recently and said, "What's wrong with that cat?" And it's like, no, it's just his voice. So let me let him out. This is my sunroom, and my hobby is cooking. And if you turn around, you will see a wall of cookbooks. And yes, I have made something out of every single one of them. Sometimes not more than one thing, and then there's the old trusty ones. When I saw this kitchen, I knew I wanted the house because it was my dream kitchen. And we travel a lot, so we've started collecting tiles from wherever we go. They don't have to have a theme, they just have to remind us of the place we've been. And I really love them. There's not a real decorating theme to my house, but I think of it as kind of country French or country Italian. Also, another travel phenomenon is all my magnets. We're running out of space. Doesn't mean we're going to stop traveling. They're just going to get closer together. So, since it's autumn, we have witches flying everywhere in here. And I have a real weakness for pumpkins. So there are pumpkins all over the house. And this little darling is my Bijou, who helps me read. That's what I was doing when you came. He reads with me. So yeah, I'm Wiccan, and I have been for over half my life. It's weird to think of that now. When I was in grad school, I was working on a dissertation on goddess figures in Thomas Hardy's fiction. And I was looking particularly like Greco-Roman goddesses, and my dissertation advisor said, well, what did Hardy know about Celtic religion? It was a good question. And so I thought I would look into that, and then somebody came up to me, friend of a friend, and said, this book might help you with your dissertation. It was Merlin Stone's book, When God Was a Woman. And I read it, and I gave it back to him, and I said, well, it didn't help much with my dissertation, but I really found something I believe in. I mean, I didn't know there was a contemporary religion that sort of embraced some of the old principles, and he said, we thought so. And it turned out there was a coven in graduate school, and I got in that. And then when I moved to Georgia, I was formally trained in a religion. And some people are still a little unclear about what Wicca is. Basically, contemporary Wicca, the way it's practiced now, is not the way spirituality was practiced 2,000 or 3,000 years ago. People didn't write stuff down. We know some chants, we know some songs, some ballads that have survived that tell us stories. We have some artifacts, but contemporary Wicca is very created by, inspiration. But what its premises are is that everything in the universe manifests God and Goddess energy, that whatever God and Goddess are, they are what everything is. It's a religion of immanence, so this cat is God and Goddess, as are you, as am I, as is the chair, but we don't ever think so much about the inanimate objects, but the trees, the air, the birds, the food we eat, which was living and is now dead, and we will be dead, and then others will come after us. And so it celebrates the cycles of an agricultural year, and we're no longer an agricultural society, so or we don't live in one. So when I lead ritual, I try to tie those rituals of the agricultural year to our lives. That we just celebrated Mabon, which is what a lot of people see as the fall equinox and don't pay much mind to it. But one of the things I said, what have you harvested? What have you done in your life, or particularly right now, that you feel is a good harvest, something you did you're proud of? And then as we go into the dark time of the year, the winter, what are you regretting letting go of? And so the ritual focused on not, specifically crops and the harvest being literal, but a metaphorical harvest. But because it's a harvest festival, we collected food for the NSU food pantry and took it over to them. And I went years ago when I was in West Virginia. I went to a Halloween party as the Good Witch of the North. We got a friend's homecoming tiara and dressed all in pink and, had glitter everywhere. Yeah, I don't like it. But that's a very, very important part of who I am. Mm-hmm. My religion grounds me. My career keeps me intellectually alive and excites me. Some of us as faculty are talking about taking a knee at graduation. Mm-hmm. All the political activism I've done all my life, standing down the Klan twice, leading women's rights marches, helping women get safely into abortion clinics, and this is the thing that scares me the most. But we can do those things that make our politics visible, but we can also make them invisible. Mm-hmm. But when there is the color issue, you cannot be invisible ever, right. Ever. And how oppressive that is. And the other thing I love about my job, besides the fact that it's just intellectually exhilarating and watching students catch fire, is that I get to work in climate control and I get to be clean. But they're out there happy. The other night we saw some babies. They were little guys.